Hi, vacation rental owner or manager. Every year around this time, I get asked the same question by STR owners. What actually moved the needle? Now, what they're really asking is, what decor will actually make me more money? Today, we'll talk about what worked in 2025, what didn't, and my STR design predictions for 2026. Keep in mind that design is a huge part of how much revenue your business makes. It's the first line of contact between you and a potential guest. And if you're interested in making more profit from your property, it can happen through design. Listen in. Hi, vacation rental owner. Welcome to the Step Up Your STR podcast, which is all about specialized decorating so you can make max revenue from your business. I'm Cara Shimizu, and I've designed dozens of STRs, all of which charge in the top 10% of their area competitors and make up to 153% more after working with me. So I love these questions that I get at this time of year. What actually moved the needle? What decor will really make me money? Now, I love these questions because it tells me that owners are finally done ignoring their design. They don't want to know what was trendy, but they do want every element of their business to be on point. They want to know what worked. Now, this past year, I've designed more short-term rentals than ever, and they're all across different markets, different budgets, different property types, condos, homes, mountain properties, urban spaces. And as the year has gone on, some clear patterns started to emerge, and some of them confirmed what I already believed, but some of the patterns honestly surprised me. So today's episode isn't theory. I'm not going to talk about just design trends for next year. You can read that in all the magazines, and a lot of them are wrong for STRs. Let me just say that. But today's episode will be based on real bookings, guest behavior, listing photos, and performance outcomes. In, in this episode, I want to walk you through three things. What actually worked in STR design in 2025? What didn't work, and in many cases quietly cost owners money, and what I believe will be those things that matter most in design as we head into 2026. So if you're planning updates, or you're going to get a new property and you need to furnish it, or maybe your property just feels stuck, I'm making this episode to give you clarity. So what actually did work in 2025? First, design that reads instantly in photos. Listings were won or lost before guests ever read about the amenities. The spaces that performed best were the ones that explained themselves visually. You could just glance at the photos and immediately understand who it was for, what kind of stay it would be, how it would feel to be in that place. Spaces with clear focal points outperformed spaces with some layered clutter. And I do see a lot of layered clutter online. Spaces with clear focal points outpace those every single time. The really good properties that did well didn't have more stuff or more styling, but they did have more clarity. And here's a takeaway I want you to remember. If the decor in the photograph wasn't clear, it didn't perform. The next thing I saw work in 2025 was the homey trinity. So for those of you who have been listening for a while, you've heard me talk about the homey trinity. It's a nickname that my friend gave my technique, and it stuck. So to just recap, it's number one, white or very light walls because they create brightness and the feeling of clean. Number two in the trinity is some vivid and intentional color because those give listings personality and make them more clickable. And number three in the trinity is an Instagrammable moment. I saw those with even just one Instagrammable feature do just as well as, or better than sometimes, as those trying to make everything an Instagrammable moment. The mistake I saw was owners trying to make something interesting everywhere, and it ends up kind of looking silly. But what worked was being intentional somewhere with one strong visual hook. The next thing I saw in 2025 is that intentional furnishings will beat good deals, quote, good deals every time. This one showed up again and again. The best performing homes weren't bargain hunted, they were planned. They actually had fewer pieces, better scale, typically bigger scale of the pieces they did have, stronger contrast, especially with color and black and white, and furniture that actually fit the room. Meanwhile, I saw owners spend months chasing great deals and end up with pieces that didn't relate to each other, um, a flow that didn't work in the room, furniture that photographed flat, and those rooms felt awkward. And so I just want to repeat something I've said before. Bad decorating costs as much as, and usually more than, good decorating. Bad decorating costs as much as good decorating. Just go for the good from the beginning because mistakes don't just cost money when they're bought, they cost in time, momentum, and definitely in missed bookings. The next thing I saw that worked in 2025 was designing for the guest's first 30 seconds. This actually seemed to be one of the strongest predictors of a property's performance in 2025 was that first 30 seconds that they see the photo and they click on it and then what they read inside. So the following photos. So this includes the entry view, that main living room angle, and the bed wall. Those are the main places that guests are going to be either greeted with at first when they go to the property or where they'll be spending the most time. The entry where they'll see first, and the main living room and bedroom, it's where they'll spend the most time. Remember that guests decide emotionally before they decide logically to book a space. So, comfort cues, visual calm, and a sense of feeling, oh, this will be an easy place to stay. Those always beat novelty. The spaces that worked best didn't shout, they seemed more to reassure. Okay, let's move on to what did not work in 2025. First, silly, over-themed spaces. And I'm not talking about a cool theme or a theme in a subtle way, but themes that dominated instead of supporting the stay. Too many neon signs, too many paintings on the wall that looked like cartoons, too many props trying to be clever. Guests don't want to feel like they're sleeping inside a joke. They want personality, but they also want comfort and calm and a place to rest. Next, that didn't work in 2025 was following trends without any strategy. Here I'm talking copy paste Airbnb aesthetics, design choices based on, oh, I see this everywhere. I heard a lot, or some of my clients would say a lot, well, what's working now? What's popular right now? But I think it's better to say, does this piece or this design or this layout, will this convert? Will this make them want to click my listing and book a stay? Will this make them enjoy the stay while they're here and give me a really great review? Popularity doesn't pay the mortgage, performance does. The next thing I saw that was a bad idea in 2025 is skipping design or kind of putting it off to the side until after the listing goes live and you, quote, tried it for a few months. This one is expensive and it's common. Owners spending heavily just to renovate or get the property live, they're spending too much money and they'll think, oh, well, we don't have enough for the design, we'll fix it later. But later usually means redoing spaces, replacing bad furniture, reshooting photos. All of those things cost a lot of money. It also means wondering why bookings didn't take off from the beginning. Here's the truth. Design isn't the finishing touch. It is the sales strategy. Design is the sales strategy. It needs to be on point from the beginning if you want your property to do its best. The next problem I saw in 2025, and really in all of my 6 years of designing STRs, is underestimating professional guidance. Trying to do all the design alone, I've never seen that work well for an STR owner. You get DIY fatigue. DIY is do it yourself. So when you're just trying to do it all yourself, that's really tiring and it's a real thing. Design paralysis or decision paralysis is also a real thing. And I saw owners that would spend more time and more money decorating without professional help than they would have if they got guidance early to prevent mistakes. I'm not going to lie, 2025 was a rough year for a lot of STR owners. All right, let's move on now to my 2026 STR design predictions. Prediction one, visual simplicity will win. I think 2026 is going to reward simplicity because everything around us is complex. We want something different from complex. We have so much coming at us, overstimulation, decisions to make, clutter to deal with, digital clutter, physical clutter, time clutter. People want simplicity. They want cleaner rooms, fewer choices, but maybe some bold choices that can let their minds rest, more calm, less chaos. I predict that clarity will outperform complexity. My second prediction is that design will be treated by smart STR owners like a revenue infrastructure. The smartest STR owners will budget for design upfront. Design, I think, will come to be viewed more in our industry like photography is viewed, or a pricing strategy, or a project management, or excuse me, property management system, a PMS system. A lot of owners realize those are super important. They're foundational. Well, actually, design is foundational too, because how good or how bad your design is directly correlates with how much or how little revenue you earn. Smart STR owners will, I think they will increasingly see good design as not optional. They will see it as a foundation piece as well. And there will be growing demand for ROI driven designers like me, not just anyone who does regular decorating, but designers who actually specialize in knowing what decor will make their clients more money. Next prediction. Safe, quote unquote, safe will start to feel risky because there are so many safe listings. You know, beige on beige listings will blur together even more. In saturated markets, distinction truly matters, and I think it will continue to matter even more in 2026. Memorable will outperform neutral. My next prediction is that owners will want speed and clarity in their design services. I think that they're going to want fast turnaround times, not months and years like regular design takes, but, weeks or maybe a month. They want less decision making and they'll want more of that energy that says, just tell me what works. I trust you, just put it in, make it work for me. And this is where done for you design and streamlined e-designs really shine. Okay, I have a bit of advice for STR owners, all of you out there who are planning for 2026. Please ask yourself a few questions. First, would a stranger understand your listing in 3 seconds? Does it pass the grunt test? I think I've heard that as a marketing term, the grunt test. Can they look at it and pretty much instantly know what it's about? Will they understand your listing? Next, is your design intentional? Or is it kind of accidental or thrown together? And finally, did you design for guest experience? So here's some simple guidance. Plan design before peak season. So every year, I live near a mountain town. I live near Park City, Utah, and I design there almost exclusively. I see so many owners who are coming to me mid-November or late November and want this design done really fast. And that is my specialty. I can do it. But when I get a bunch of clients stacked up, I actually can't do it then. Those other clients already have their design planned out and scheduled out. So please design before peak season. Here's a truth. In December, large items like beds or dressers or sofas typically take longer than in other months of the year because there's just so much shipping going on. And they need to get all those little packages out. And this great big sofa, well, maybe it can wait a couple days. So please plan before peak season. Plan out that you're going to get that design updated. Also, arrange for your design once by researching who will really work for you. Have that design good from the beginning, and you'll profit repeatedly. All right, now if 2026 is the year you want your STR to earn more without constantly tweaking or guessing or redoing things, design must be a part of that plan. Remember, how good or how bad your STR looks, how good or bad that STR design is directly correlates with how much or how little revenue you earn. I work with STR owners and property managers who want clarity, speed, and results, definitely not a lot of decisions. So if that sounds like you, you're welcome to contact me. It's at vrdecor.co/contact. That's VR as in vacation rental, decor.co/contact. And I'll leave that info in the description too. And we can just simply talk through what would actually move the needle for your property, get you going in a solid direction. The best STRs in 2025 weren't the most expensive to decorate. They were the most intentional. And that's the direction we're heading as we go into 2026. Thank you for being here. 2025 has been a great year for me. I've had so many properties that I've designed, and I hope it's been a great year for you too. Please know I'm here for you. There's so much room for improved properties that will serve you and your family well. I hope going into 2026 will be good, and I look forward to talking again next time.